Okay, if that's what you want, just letting you guys know, you asked for it. I wanted to make a video on Phoenix. I remember vividly saying to myself that when I started to make Marvel Rivals content, I would not do tier lists, but somehow, some way, we always end up doing things in life that we don't want to do, and sometimes we enjoy it. As I was sitting down crafting up my tier list for the DPS role, I decided on something. I don't want to do S to F tier. I don't think that makes a lot of sense, so I decided to create my own format. I feel like these tiers are pretty self-explanatory, so I'm not going to really explain them. And if I'm being truthful, I wanted to make this tier list as a more of an editing project. I really just like editing. It's so fun. This is an opportunity for me to really test out my editing style, because I know most tier lists is just somebody sitting down talking for like 40 to 30 minutes about a whole bunch of characters, showing a little bit of details here and there, but I kind of want to put my own spin on it. It'll probably be just as long as the average tier list or ranking video that you typically see on YouTube, but we're talking about the Marvel Rivals roster, and a lot of the characters in this game are poorly made. With that out of the way, let me explain to you the context in which I view characters in this game when it comes to how fair they are to face. And I am urging you to please listen to what I'm about to say carefully, so none of you come into my comments and say something that completely ignores what I'm about to explain to you. I know character design and character balance go hand in hand in how we view certain characters' fairness. I'm not going to deny that. I typically separate the two. When I think about a character's fairness, I think about their base kits and not necessarily what the hell the developers decided to do in a balance patch to them. That's the context I'm going to be using while making this tier list. So if you disagree with a certain character's placement on my list because of their power level throughout the game's lifespan, I'm telling you right now, that is not how I'm measuring these characters. I'm looking at all of them individually in a vacuum and assessing whether or not they are fair to play against, regardless if they've been traditionally weak or strong characters throughout the game's lifespan. I feel like that just makes the most sense when we're talking about hero fairness. Let's move on to the three oddballs, and the reason why I call them three oddballs is because these are the three characters I had the toughest time finding a place on the tier list. Let me just get this one out of the way. I had no idea I would have a very hard time trying to figure out where the hell to put Blade, Namor, and Black Widow on this tier list. But trust me, I spent like 30 minutes thinking about these three individually, especially when it comes to this fish freak. I call him a fish freak, but I have him lorded. But that doesn't matter. I wanted to put him in very unfair to face, but then I thought about it for a second. His auto-aim squids that have insane range, by the way, can be destroyed relatively easy. Don't get me wrong, I am not defending the squids by any measure, alright? Those squids are dumb as hell, especially when he lands a right click. A lot of you may not know this, but when he does his right click and he misses, there's a slight window of time in which he can land a left click and it'll have the same properties as his right click, which is, again, really stupid. But I can't ignore the fact that the most annoying thing about Namor is countered really easily with just one gun. I know majority of the melee characters struggle against him, but you gotta understand, sometimes some characters just have favorable matchups against other characters. It just so happens in this game, Namor's favorable matchup is done in a really stupid and unfair way. So that's gonna land Fist Freak into mostly unfair to face. Now Blade. Out of the three, I came to a conclusion on him the fastest. Blade shotgun, pistol, whatever the hell that thing is actually pretty fair to face, because you gotta understand the sweet spot with it, and if you're not in the sweet spot, it does like no damage. But that's not Blade's whole MO. His whole MO is getting life steal back for holding down left click. And that's where the issues arise for Blade's fairness. I don't mind how thoughtless his left click combos are, and I'm saying that in quotation marks, but giving it lifesteal and making him fight faster makes it really hard to consider that fair. His parry is a little broken right now, but it's not that big of a deal. It's just really easy to use. There are some saving graces though. Blade has low mobility and it takes him a bit to get to that level 10 stat. So there's a bit of a build up to it. And if he is able to get it off, that's when he becomes really problematic. But the in-between game is really just how good is he with the shotgun. And I think that's fair to face. It's almost like we got a 50-50 situation going on here. And that's exactly where Blade is going, in 50-50. And last but not least, Black Widow. I'm gonna make this one quick. This is one of the most fair poke characters to face in this game. I know that sounds absolutely outrageous, but remember guys, we're not talking about hero balance. Most of the poke characters in the game are extremely overtuned. She's what I like to call a skill check, because the most effective way of using Widow right now is to not stand main and 2-tapping. She is a sprint and a repositioning tool to take angles, and if you do not pay attention to your angles, she's going to fry you the whole game. That is not a problem with Widow. It's not like she's walking around one-tapping people like a certain somebody. She's just on an angle shooting at your team. That's a problem with you if you don't know how to check her. I was going to initially put her in very fair to face, but then I remembered that hard CC she has, and I know it's been severely nerfed, but that 1 second of being CC can make the difference between you dying and you living, and I don't like when poke characters have hard CCs. So she's going to go into the mostly fair tier. If I haven't pissed you off yet, I'm probably about to do it right now, because I'm talking about 2 poke characters, and boy oh boy, a lot of people do not like poke characters in this game. There's a pretty good reason why I separated balance and hero design. It's because a lot of the time when you look at the poke characters in this game, they are really overtuned, and it leaves a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. Because Punisher and Cyclops are just normal shooty shoot characters. Sure, Punisher has this disappear machine in his shotgun, but besides that, what about him screams he's unfair to face? His ult is strong, but you can also kill him in it easily. That's a pretty fair trade-off, and his zipline techs are more theatrics rather than being practical. His smoke screen is the most fair get off me tool any poke character has in this game, and his turret is so situational. Majority of the time, you're just going to use it to become CC immune or block a huge clump of damage. The only unfair thing is the shotgun. That shit is unstoppable sometimes, but he's trading long range damage for short range damage, so there's a trade-off. Cyclops, on the other hand, is a little bit closer to the unfair side because of his shift slowing you and pushing you away. That's a little bit much for a poke character. But his ricochet attack, that has zero counterplay. There's no defending that ability. Using his F to push yourself into the sky is a bit of a coin flip, especially when you're going against other hit scan characters. One of the biggest reasons into why I didn't put him in 50-50 is because of his ult. It combos well with other ults, but that's not something unique to Cyclops. A lot of ults combo well in this game. His ult is so bad, even before it got nerfed, it was still bad. I remember everyone kept saying it's so broken, no, it's not broken. Just walk out of the damn way. So with that being said, I'm going to place Punisher and Cyclops in mostly fairs to face. Don't forget, this is a 2 for 2 special, so we have 2 more characters we're going to talk about before I get to the next set of characters. Those 2 are Wolverine and Moon Knight. Everyone knows what's unfair about Wolverine. It's his grab. That's it. It's literally his grab. That grab is the reason why Groot's Iron Wall has CC immunity, by the way. Besides that, Wolverine is a relatively normal melee character. You could say the percentage-based damage, and I would agree with you. I don't like percentage-based damage in the slightest, but it's really a huge issue in combination with the grab, because you're just mainly trying to grab a tank. Sometimes your grab is squishy, but you really just want to grab the tanks. And now Moon Knight, don't you just love it when you stand next to your teammates and you're just randomly taking damage because you're slightly near them? Players should be rewarded for landing their left clicks. It's good game design. That's why Moon Knight is so well designed, man. Especially with his onks, bro. They're so fair to play against. Let's go ahead and put our boy Moon Knight down here with Wolverine in mostly unfair to face. Making Moon Knight do this was one of the dumbest decisions they've ever made in this game. I got another 4 for you, and they're all melee characters, so I know for a fact I'm about to piss more people off, and at this point, I don't really care. I can't please everyone. These are just my opinions, and the people who subscribe to my channel ask for them, so I'm giving them to you. Magik and Mr. Fantastic are 2 of the most fair characters to face in the game. In fact, I think they are very fair to face. I'm so dead ass when I say this, and I don't like saying this, but if you consider these characters dishonest in the context of Marvel Rivals, I'm just gonna straight up consider that a skill issue. I have never had an interaction with Magik or Mr. Fantastic that's made me think that shit is completely unfair. Everyone, when it comes to Mr. Fantastic, says the same thing. He doesn't die. He doesn't die. He's not dying because you're not focusing him. Literally focus the character and see how fast he explodes. Even with all of his health bar, techs, and cheese, he has zero mobility and he doesn't have kill potential. He's just a blob of HP that's meant to soak up space with his tanks. And on top of that, he's the most fair anti-dive character in the game. Last time I checked, he doesn't have an invisible AoE trap as well. If Mr. Fantastic starts touching you with his stretchy arms, there's a lot of time you have to react and get away. He's just deterring you. Most of the time, he's not killing you. Magik, on the other hand, does kill people. She kills them relatively quick. The thing is about Magik is her TTK is not as fast as other melee characters in this game. She does get her combos off quick, but guess what? It's very reactable. And another thing is you can fight back against her pretty well. My biggest thing is interactability. I can't say that with some other characters in this game, and we're about to get to them very soon. With Magik, it's pretty easy to fight back against Magik. If a Magik is tearing you up, it's because of a skill issue, bro. I'm so sorry, but like, it's just a skill issue to me, man. Neither one of these characters can ignore the core fundamentals of the game, and if they do try to ignore them, that's when they explode and get zero value, and that's going to land them both in the very fair to face category. Now, I want to make sure you all paid attention to a very special word I said when I talked about Magik in particular. I said the word interactability, and yes, that actually is a word. I looked it up, and that is very important when it comes to facing characters that can kill you very fast. And it seems to me Marvel Rivals struggles with that a lot. There's two feline themed characters that don't interact well with the rest of the cast. Do I even need to explain why these characters are about to go in very unfair to face? Genuinely, does anyone need an explanation? I for sure as hell hope not a single soul needs an explanation, but I'll still do it for the sake of the video. Where do I even begin with Black Panther? Literally anyone who has a brain has already said this about this character. He can never, ever be buffed or ever become part of the meta because of how cancer his base kit is. Don't get me wrong, I know how easy it is to shut down Black Panther. He is a terribly designed character, and that's a problem with Black Panther. He has such a toxic gameplay loop that is easily shut down. So when you are facing him and he's not being shut down, you're like, this is miserable. But when you're playing as Black Panther, you're also like, this is miserable because everyone counters me. So nobody's having fun. The spear dash drill kick combos are unreactable if you do them fast enough. He is the definition of feast or famine. But once that feast starts, it is one of the worst gaming experiences I've had in my life. And Black Cat is no better. She may not kill you as fast as Black Panther, but she has this really, really stupid gameplay loop that allows her to cycle invisibility and iframes, and it is one of the worst fucking designs I've ever seen. I know I say this in my videos a lot, but I gotta say this one more time. Does anyone play test what the hell they're adding to this game? Because there's no way they saw all of the things Black Cat can do and just put her in the game. Mind you, she was much worse when she first came out, and the devs left us with that character for 2 months. This character is so stupid that she's only properly checked by another character who has a really stupid ability of his own. We're going to get to him later though. I'm just going to go ahead and put these two in very unfair to face. You saw that title. It's going to make a lot of sense once I begin to explain. It's Ironfist and Spider-Man's turn. These two are very unique, especially Webhead, but I'm gonna go over Ironfist first. On paper, Ironfist's kit looks insane. He has 3 jumps, he can run up walls, he can heal himself, he has a parry that blocks everything in the game, a shift that allows him to B-hop, he has percentage-based damage. Every time he parries something, he gets overhealth back. To top it all off, his left click has auto-aim. This character sounds insane. He can brawl, he can dive, he can peel, he can attack a team's front line, all while not dying because he has high survivability along with good mobility. But that's the thing about Ironfist, man. He does pretty much everything, but he's not really good at anything. The developers decided to make Ironfist a jack of all trades and master of none. But that's getting more into the side of character balance instead of a character's design. The only reason I mentioned that is because the Ironfist we have right now is not the Ironfist we started off with in day one. Even with Ironfist being able to do all of those things I mentioned, it's not really that unfair to face in my opinion, because the worst thing Ironfist does to you is make you stop playing the game by doing his parry. And to be honest, it's not that bad in the context of rivals. He is annoying, don't get me wrong, but he's like Magik in a sense. His combos that do a lot of damage to you, they're very reactable. You can stop him from doing it before he gets it off. There's a pretty obvious window in which Ironfist is about to build up to finish you off with the combo, and you can stop him if you just fight back or get away from him. It's not that hard to do that. To me, Ironfist was teetering on 50-50 because a lot of the things he does don't really have counterplay to them, but when you face them, it's not that big of a deal. So I'm going to place Ironfist in mostly fair to face. It's Spidey's turn now, and this motherfucker gave me a headache thinking about how to actually place him in this tier list, because he does whatever the hell he wants to do. Spider-Man is not playing Marvel Rivals. Spider-Man is playing Spider-Man Simulator 2026 and calling it a day. Seriously, ask yourself, is Spider-Man genuinely playing the same game you're playing when you're facing him? He's not. And it is so funny watching Spider-Man's rundown games sometimes, because I know it's annoying to deal with on your team, but like sometimes they get so much accidental value doing dumb shit with this character that you just like, there's no fucking way he's playing Marvel Rivals right now. I know this is going to sound crazy, but this is like the only character in this game that can have like 20 plus deaths and still somehow carry you. You can't really stop him from pulling you off the map. His combos are sometimes unreactable, and he skips neutral a lot with his insane mobility. But the only saving grace for Spider-Man is the fact that you can kill this character so easily. Him being 250 HP is a must. If they ever give him more HP, that is going to be a very bad day for the Marvel Rivals community. With that being said, I'm going to put the web head in mostly unfair to face, mainly because of his shenanigans. It's time for the trio of flyers. I'll be honest with you, I'm not too big of a fan of perma-flight, but it's not that bad in Marvel Rivals, at least for two of them. We're already familiar with the three flyers, and each of them have a very different playstyle from one another. I'm going to get Iron Man out of the way first. I think he has the easiest playstyle out of the three because Iron Man can genuinely get value out of being near the skybox. I'm not saying the most effective way to play Iron Man is to sit in the skybox like an idiot and get shot down. I'm saying that there are particular situations where Iron Man can get extreme value out of being in the skybox, because there's certain characters in this game that cannot interact with them, and even when there are characters in the game that do well against him, he can still play corners pretty well if you know how to play natural cover properly. Iron Man is a very gamer adjacent character, if I'm being honest. I'm a bit conflicted on his right click because it does require you to have good tracking, but it's very forgiving at the same time. So Iron Man is going to go into the 50-50 for me because he's not that oppressive, but he kind of plays a different game from a lot of characters due to his perma-flight and his AoE spam. It's the goddess turn, and this one's going to be quick. Storm is the most well-made flyer in this game because every single flyer in this game has perma-flight, and hers is the least annoying to deal with. The only thing that I dislike about Storm that makes me think she's not very fair to face because she's very easy to kill is the fact that she gives permanent damage boosts to people who are standing near her. That has zero counterplay. I'm sorry if you were expecting her to go into very fair, she's not going in there. Besides that, she's completely fine. It's just the damage boost. So with all that, she's going in mostly fair to face. And last but not least of the trio of flyers, Human Torch. This character is very interesting to me because I think he's like Widow. He's a skill check. If you're not paying attention to your corners or you're not paying attention to the sky, he's going to torch you the whole game. See what I did there? Please laugh. It was a funny joke. Please laugh. I like that he's a skill check, but when you really break down what he's able to do, you start to see, okay, maybe that isn't necessarily fair in the grand scheme of things. Part of Torch's main gameplay loop is managing his left clicks. The thing is about his left clicks is he can't reload them. So when you're using his left clicks, you have to wait 1 second of not shooting to get all 6 of them back. Okay, that seems pretty fair. But the thing is, he has 2 dashes, and those dashes reload all of his flame clusters. After he's done dashing, he gets a slight movement boost. Did you guys know that's not in his hero profile? It doesn't say anything about his dashes reloading all 6 of his shots. Torch does make noises when he flies, but it's not as loud as you think. And if you do hear his plasma body going off, majority of the time he's already in a situation in which he doesn't really care that you can hear his plasma body. The thing is though, Marvel Rivals is just a really loud game in general, so you're really not going to be paying attention to when Torch is flying around using his plasma body and shit. He's a flying dive character. His left click is like a shotgun, and he has a slam that boops you, gives him overhealth, and ignites his blazing blast. That is a lot for a dive character because he has an insane amount of burst damage that is almost unreactable because of how fast he drops down on you, which is why I say he's a skill check. If you're looking out for him, you can definitely stop the setups, but the problem is the setups are so fast that they're a little hard to stop even if you do notice where he is. So that's why Torch is going to land in mostly unfair to face. In the right hands, you will understand why this character is so hard to deal with. You read that title correctly, and these two are the epitome of shit that should not be in the game. We have the guy who can see everything apparently, and we have the guy who can't see a goddamn thing. And somehow, both of them having those distinct traits make them extremely annoying. Let's start with the blind man. I don't even think he's blind, to be honest with you, because apparently he can just see through goddamn walls. Marvel Rivals has so much stupid shit in the game that a lot of you really just don't seem to talk about the fact that this freak has permanent wall hacks in a 6v6 competitive hero shooter. Because even in the context of all of the dumb shit in this game, that's still pretty goddamn broken. This is the only character in the game that can properly fight Black Cat because he has wall hacks. She spams invisibility and he's the only one that can keep up with her because he sees her as she's invisible. Is that not crazy? I didn't even mention all the other crazy things that this character does. The wall hacks that Punisher has in this game is enough of an advantage. It only lasts for about 4 seconds. So I'm going to go ahead and put him in very unfair to face. He has uncounterable and uninteractable permanent wall hacks. What else needs to be said about Daredevil? I think this one's going to be quick too because Hawkeye has a one-shot. I don't think I need to say much else. One-shots can exist in hero shooters as long as it's like an ult or like something that you can easily telegraph, like, you know, Magneto's ult. Hawkeye doesn't do that though. He just loads up an arrow while he's standing main and shoots you in the face. There's not much counterplay to it. Yeah, he's easily able to be killed, yada yada. That's a result of character balance, not character design. At the end of the day, he still one-shots people, and that is one of the most unfair things to deal with in any competitive setting. You guys already know where he's going. Now we have the shooty shoot ladies, and these two ladies, boy oh boy, have they done a number to this game. These two are one of the biggest reasons why I wanted to separate hero balance and hero design, because stay with me, all right? This is going to sound crazy, but in my honest opinion, I do not think Hela is an extremely unfair character to face. The Queen of Hell has been a product of over-tuning, and that is hero balance, not hero design. If you really look at Hela's base kit, you will notice the only real thing that is extremely unfair about the character is her stun. I've already said it before. I don't like when poke characters have hard CCs, and guess what? Hela has one of the best hard CCs in the game. But if you look at everything else, her right click isn't that unfair to face. Yeah, her left clicks are strong, but you know, it's okay to have a character who does a lot of damage at longer ranges. And her ult is one of the most fair ults in the game. Yes, it makes a lot of space and it does a lot of damage, but guess what? You can destroy the ult, and once you destroy the ult, whatever HP she was at when she did the ult, she remains in that HP when she comes out of it. So you can kill her very easily. All I'm saying is I think that's pretty fair, bro. It's just the stun. That's the problem. So she's gonna land in 50-50 for me. The red Hela, Phoenix, on the other hand, this one I can't really say is anywhere near 50-50 because she has a lot of the same issues as Hela, but they have some pretty insane properties to them as well. Let's start with the spark system. She can make you explode just for landing her attacks on you. It's only on her left clicks, right? No, actually, it's not. The developers decided to put that on practically everything in her kit because if they didn't, it would literally just be Hela that shoots fire. So their way of making her feel unique was by implementing the spark properties to almost everything she does. So now the Phoenix just makes people explode for interacting with them. Somehow they made her stun even worse. It is hit scan, not a projectile, and it sets off 3 explosions. If you get hit by any explosion after the first one, it slows you after stunning you. And her ult is practically the same as Hela's. It's almost like these are the same fucking characters, and this one is just an upgraded version of the last. Because her ult is indestructible while it's idle in the air, and when she gets out of her ult, she gets all of her health back. Good job, guys. You did a really good job making these characters feel different from each other. Phoenix is going in very unfair to face because I initially wanted to put her in mostly unfair to face, but then I looked at who was in that column and I was like, no, she's much worse than those characters. Well, it's Elsa and Psylocke's turn, and I think this one's going to be relatively quick, just like Hawkeye and Daredevil. We're going to start with Elsa, and I think she's a lot like Ironfist, and you're probably asking, what the hell does that mean? Well, what I mean by that is, she's like Ironfist, but on steroids. She does everything, and she does everything good. Elsa can brawl, she can poke, she can peel, she can annihilate a team's front line with their percentage-based damage and her ult. The only thing she doesn't do super duper well is diving, but like she can still set up for a pretty cheeky sneak attack if you're not watching your corners. And if that's not enough to convince you that this character is very unfair to play against, because that's where she's going. There's nowhere else she's going. It's the invisible trap. Even before the Devil Dinosaur team up, this trap was still overpowered. I don't care what nobody says, man. An invisible trap is an invisible trap. There's no counterplay to it. I don't know why they decided to make a character that has no weaknesses, but that's Elsa Bloodstone, and she's going in the very unfair column. It's Psylocke's turn, and Psylocke is a little weird in this game for me. She does certain things that I would consider unfair, but like the properties of them aren't necessarily that bad. Like the invisibility. I don't like the invisibility, but when you hit her, you can see her for a little bit so you can track where she's going. I think that's how you do invisibility well, because she has invisibility on a short duration. It's not infinite, so she has to move with purpose, and you can hear her go invisible really easily. But at the end of the day, it's still going invisible. Her invisibility is an integral part of her kit because she can go invisible, walk right up to someone, and practically one-shot them with her right-click, left-click combos. So I can't put her in very fair to face because of that, because sometimes it is hard to hit her invisibility when a whole bunch of shit is going on. She's gonna land in mostly fair to face because no matter how you do invisibility, you're still invisible, and I don't think that's fair. These two are also one of the biggest reasons why I wanted to separate hero balance and hero design, because Wanda and Squirrel Girl have traditionally been terrible characters throughout this game's lifespan, but they are both somewhat unfair characters to face because of their gameplay loop. Both of them are very easy to play, and in theory their kits should get a lot of value, because Squirrel Girl has a lot of AoE spam that's pretty forgiving to land, and she can trap you 2 times in a row with her acorns. And Scarlet Witch has an auto-aim basic attack, pretty good burst damage with right clicks, and her shift can stun several people numerous times in a row. On paper, they sound like very strong characters. Easy to land AoE spam, you're able to trap people 2 times in a row, you don't have to aim your left clicks, you can stun multiple people at once, and your burst damage is good. But we all know Wanda and Squirrel Girl are terrible, alright? There's not much else to be said about that. The thing is though, easy mode characters are very beginner friendly. And a lot of the time, beginner friendly characters typically have to do some pretty dishonest things at lower rates to make them playable in most games they're in. Because even with putting a skilled player's hands, they're pretty much doing the same exact thing as if they were in a less skilled player's hand. I can't necessarily say that for two other easy mode characters in this game, because the developers decided to treat them much differently than they do Scarlet Witch and Squirrel Girl. But that's a conversation for another day. With all that being said, I'm going to put Scarlet Witch and Squirrel Girl in the 50-50 tier. You read that right. I think Starlord is one of the most well-designed characters in this game. He has a lot of trade-offs in his kit for the unfair things that he does. But there's one thing in particular that he does that I cannot ignore, but I'll get to that one later. I want to talk about his ult first. Starlord has a really good ult. If it doesn't get kills, it damn sure makes a lot of space and it forces the other team to use their ult. Flying that high into the sky and having auto aim with an increased fire rate may seem unfair. Here's the thing though, you can kill him in his ult and it's pretty easy considering when you go behind cover he has to expose himself more to your team because you're behind cover, so he has to take another angle to get to you. So while you're actively avoiding his ult, you're also wasting his ult time and you're putting him at more of a disadvantage because he has to expose himself more. Or the Starlord player can just choose not to pursue you, so now he's getting no value on his ult. It is a powerful ult, but there's plenty of counterplay to it. When he's using his shift, he's trading his ability to attack for mobility. So if he wants to pursue you, get away from you, or reposition himself, he cannot attack while doing so unless he presses a particular button, his E. And his E, it's a little unfair, alright? He's doing a whole bunch of damage to people in a certain radius. He doesn't have to aim, and I get that, but guess what? You can still shoot at him while he's doing it as well. It's just when he combines it with his shift and he starts like flying around doing it, it's a little hard to hit him, but you can definitely still kill him. I really want to put Starlord in very fair to face, but the one thing holding me back is the fact that his flips give him iframes and reload his guns. I think they should do either or, not both at the same time. I don't like when characters can ignore reloading. I don't like it on Torch, I don't like it on Starlord, and I'm not going to like it on the guy I'm about to talk about next. So that's going to land him in mostly fair to face. There have been plenty of demons added to the Marvel Rivals roster since release. Release day Daredevil comes to mind, release day Elsa, release day Black Cat, all three of them DPS. Noticing a trend here, but there's been one with us since the beginning of the game, and he has been a problem we've had to deal with every single season. It's Winter Soldier. I'm going to get this out of the way. I don't think he's the most unfair DPS to face in the game, but he has been one of the most unfair for 9.5 seasons. NetEase has had almost 2 years now to get this character right, and they have not figured it out. And I'll tell you what the main issue with this character is. Almost everything this character does another thing. His left click has splash damage. His tainted voltage not only damages you, it pierces you, it grounds fires, and it slows you. His uppercut can displace you. It's not just a normal attack that just, oh, it happens in one place. He's moving you while he's uppercutting you. And did you know it used to ground you? That got taken away and his uppercut is still overpowered. He has a hook that combos really well with this uppercut, but the real bad thing about it is it can grab multiple people at once. Every single ability this character has reloads his ammo. You would think Bucky having 3 shots from me, oh, he doesn't get out a lot of spam. But no, he gets to reload just for pressing buttons. And to top everything off, all of his cooldowns give him overhealth. Every single last one of them. Can someone please tell me why the only thing that has ever been removed from this character is his grounding effect on his uppercut? I genuinely feel like I'm losing my goddamn mind reading his ability list because they're just out there. They're not hidden properties like Torch's dash. It straight up just says that in his hero profile, and nothing has been done to change that. We all know where Bucky is going. He's going straight to that very unfair column. We've all played games where you can upgrade your character, and we've all played games where you upgrade other characters. Pokemon is a prime example. We've all started off with a little level 5 character and seen them turn into an absolute beast as we progress through the game. Now, could you imagine if you put that kind of experience in Marvel Rivals? There is no character in this game that does what Deadpool does, and his DPS version is the absolute epitome of playing an entirely different game from the rest of the cast. I'm not even going to go over every single thing this character can do when he's fully upgraded. But just know, when he's fully upgraded, he is a triple S tier character. I'm not even joking on that. And the scary part about it is you will not see a DPS pool at the beginning of the game if they're a good player. They're either going to be on support pool or tank pool. And it is a genuine coin flip on whether or not that person is also a DPS pool player as well. DPS pool is in it for the long game. That character is completely useless early game. If you have a long match and someone has been on tank pool and support pool, good luck if they switch to the DPS version of him, because it is about to be all hell that is let loose in that overtime. I just want to go over the process of getting him to that point. There is no counterplay to this process as well. There's nothing you can do about it as a player. The only thing you can technically do is make sure you stop this team so the game doesn't end up being long. Because if max level DPS Deadpool shows up in overtime, I think the game is over. Deadpool has transferable and universal upgrades among all of his roles. So that basically means every single upgrade you get is for all 6 players on the team in all 3 roles. So please tell me, where is the counterplay to that? Like I said, I'm not going to go over what he does to you in game. I think explaining the process in itself, it's enough. Creating an actual god just because you're playing 2 other characters in a long match with 0 counterplay is literally the most unfair thing I can scheme up if you were to ask me how to make an unfair character. There's nowhere else for him to go but in his own tier. Finally made it to the end, so let's wrap this up. This is my final honesty/fairness tier list for the Duelist role in Marvel Rivals. If you don't agree with it, that's okay, bro. We all have opinions, and I'm not here to please everyone because I can't. By the way, these tiers are not ordered at all, so don't take them as if it's an ordered tier list. I just put them in that category. Also, I didn't factor in team ups because those are subject to change. I know the new team up system basically adds something to a character's base kit, but again, I just think the fact that they could be changed during any season or any half season will make it to where I would have to constantly update this list. So I just focused on their base kits. And like I said, this was more of an editing project. I just wanted to have fun putting silly pictures up on the screen and talking about a game I like to play. That's pretty much it. If you made it this far into the video, you know the drill. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed. Have a wonderful day, and peace out.